Fusion Radio with Brian Stinson, and I get so super geeked up about these guests who we have right here, and I got a really dope one right here from the shy, my homie Kilo the Dreamer. Welcome to Fusion Radio, fam.
How you doing? How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Man, excited about getting into your movement, sharing this dope music that you brought by, man. So if you could talk about the part of Chicago that you were raised in and how that influenced your music that you put out.
I grew up over on the east side of Chicago, and over there it's like its own culture. It's different from the west side, obviously, and then the south side kind of blends within the east side. Is like all one and the same, and it's pretty much it grew me in the sense of knowing the side of not having or being like the underdog compared to other cities and stuff like that based on what we had to go through. So it creates that hunger and everything else that you can feel in through the music, the expression of the music. So I feel like that's a big part of what you hear from my music and through my music.
What was the moment that you knew that music was your dream?
Well, I always grew up around music because my mother always used to sing. She was a real good singer. She went to the American Idol thing one time and never really could follow through just because she had to take care of me and my siblings. But at the same time, she always sung. So she used to sing at funerals and events, things like that. And she loves music. So it was like the passion was passed down from my mother. And then growing up, being in the rap scene and just music as a whole, I gravitated towards rapping. And all of it just kind of connected based off of that. So once I got older, it was like, I like this more where I want to be a part of music itself, the music culture, versus just being a listener.
Share with me the story on how your name, man, which is very unique, Kilo the Dreamer, man, the story about how your name came about.
I pretty much was like, I want to do music, but I have to have a name. Everybody has a name. And just based off of a lot of things that I went through in my life up to this point, it was like I've been through so much. So I was like, I wanted to incorporate something with weight, just that concept. So that's where the Kilo part came, the Dreamer part. It was like I always wanted to do something more than what I was doing or what was supposed to be done in life, per society and everything like that. So it was like I love dreaming. I love wanting to do more, doing the impossible. So I just put those two together, that combination, and it flowed well. It grew on me to the point where, when you believe yourself and you believe what you're doing, everybody else going to do it. So now everybody else, they gravitating towards Kilo the Dreamer.
What inspires your wordplay in your songs?
I feel like everybody is unique. When they do their music, they have to have that unique sound. And I feel like right now it's a lot of people that sound the same. And I just wanted to keep that originality, that uniqueness to myself. So when I rap, it's kind of like it just flows the way I do it. But the words and the precision that I use with it is kind of like I'm a perfectionist. So I always want to make sure I'm saying the right thing. But in music, you have to say it in a short amount of time because you got like 2 to 3 minutes. So it's like I have to be real precise. A lot of the times I put a lot of thought into my music where I'm trying to say something versus just making things rhyme like Dr. Seuss.
No doubt, man. So I'm going to allow you to be the program director of your radio interview, man. You brought by 2 singles. One is entitled Ready. The other one is entitled First Time. Which one would you like to play first?
I want to play Ready first.
So talk to me about Ready. What should we know about Ready? And then if you could talk about the collaboration effort with Day Boy Low.
My homie Day Boy Low, he's been doing music before me for the past, I want to say, maybe 2 years. And I've met him through a close friend of mine that we just connected instantly. So the connection was there before the music. And then when I started doing music, he was just like, me being, starting off, it was like, man, I'm ready for everything. I'm ready for what's to come, what's now, making music now, how we going to be in the future, everything. And he was already, in that mode of being ready, just grinding and getting it. So when we made that song, we named it later, but it was just fitting because everything we were saying in the song and the vibe of the song was like, we ready for the industry, ready for not being in the industry, we ready for the life we living at this time, the life that we expect to come, everything. And it was just letting everybody know and letting ourselves know at the same time that self-verification that we ready.
It's Reese.
Get that call and you know that I'm coming. I'm hiding a bit, boy, you know I ain't stopping. When I walk in the mall, I can't leave out with none. I just spit me some rats cause I know it ain't none. And the stew with my dogs cause I know that they feel me. For he and I tell them not really. Counting them hundreds, yeah, I'm acting silly. But I just really won't count me a million. I was just up in the rack trying to make it out. You be hating on me, wanna take me out. Came a long way from the bottom, was in a drop. Wanna know how I be spitting, just check it out. Wanna know how I be spitting, just check it out. I like the muck on the shit, not eat it out. I like the shit, I'm up, not eat it out.
I got women galore, I don't toy you. Don't record, we pass low hundreds like Wooster with runs. If it's something that's stuff, we be packing the punch with a pump. Hit his back through his stomach. We kinda blew hundreds and bottles. My brothers running back in no fun, but you cap for the net, think it's funny. Now you running your feet like a drummer. Pray to God when you see that we coming. Keep quiet, you know how they coming. Double phone fast and they slapping no warning. We the first thing you sing in the morning. From the rack we was born with this armor. Shiny as armor. It's like Madonna, hot like a sauna. This just a warm up. Cooking this beat just to feed my little daughter.
Ain't gotta ask me, you know that I'm ready. Ready on the gas and I gotta keep steady. I can be real with the I'm sticking though. Be lying and know that they petty. I might just come to your drink like I'm Freddy. I get that call and you know that I'm ready. I might just come to your drink like I'm Freddy. I get that call and you know that I'm ready.
Just to feed my little daughter. Had to call in them orders and orders. Drip like I'm water. So record us. Torture the game with torches. For voices. It's hard to believe in the dream. We know that we be closed. They talk like they know it. I'm keying, he low and he blowing.
Get that call and you know that I'm coming. I'm hiding a bit, boy, you know I ain't stopping. When I walk in the mall, I can't leave out with none. I just spit me some rats cause I know it ain't none. And the stew with my dogs cause I know that they feel me. Can I tell them not really? Counting them hundreds, yeah, I'm acting silly. But I just really won't count me a million. I was just up in the rack trying to make it. They be hating on me, wanna take me out. Came a long way from the bottom, was in a drop. Wanna know how I be spitting, just check it out. Wanna know how I be spitting, just check it out. I like the shit, I'm up, not eat it out. I like on the shit, I'm up, but eat it out.
I got women galore, I don't toy you. Don't record, we pack low hundreds. I Wooster with runs. If it's something that's stuff, we be packing the punch with a pump. Hit his back through his stomach. We kinda blew hundreds and bottles. My brothers running back in no fun, but you cap for the net, think it's funny. Now you running your feet like a drummer. Pray to God when you see that we coming. Keep quiet, you know how they coming. Double phone fast and they slapping no warning. We the first thing you sing in the morning. From the rack we was born with this armor. Shiny as armor. It's like Madonna, hot like a sauna. This just a warm up. Cooking this beat just to feed my little daughter,
Fusion Radio with Brian Stinson. My guest today is the awesome Kilo the Dreamer right here from the Shy Man. You just heard his single. It's entitled Ready right here on Fusion Radio, man. So what I'm excited about getting into is this upcoming podcast that you guys centered around the people of Chicago's mental health, financial literacy. Talk to me about that, like what birthed that and some different goals that you have for this podcast.
Obviously, it all started from an idea, but the idea stemmed from just how I grew up in Chicago and what I see around me in my environment. And in Chicago, we have a lot of trauma that we have based on the economic standpoint of how we live. From our families being single-parent homes where the mother has to go out and get it, but she may not have enough. So now, we grow up with that feeling of not having enough from the financial standpoint. And then a mental health standpoint, it was just like with the things that we do go through, just from the killings that are around or abuse in homes, a lot of different things that can't be seen just eye surface on the top layer. We deal with, but we never acknowledge. And then when we do acknowledge it, it's at the last minute when, it's too late and we have kids in jail or we have teenagers dead or young people just living all type of negative ways. So I took that into consideration, like, I want to help. I don't want to be an artist or just a person in general that doesn't bring value or help to people around me. And I'm just making music that's kind of like bringing everything down. So when I brought all of that together, I was like, okay, well, I can do a podcast where I shine light on individuals from Chicago who are actually doing great things, but still are affected by the culture and life of Chicago. So, which can be applied to any other city, but me being from Chicago, I know this more so than the other ones. And the financial part and the mental health part is like pretty much just bringing awareness to it, but also teaching and healing and growth with all of it. So with bringing those guests on, they'll hopefully be able to open up enough to express some of those traumas or some of those things that they've dealt with, even though they have succeeded so highly in whatever they're doing, to show maybe some kids or some teenagers or young adults or people that may be in their early 30s or, above us, but it hasn't clicked. So when they see it from people who are relatable to them, who are living in the same environment, who are going through similar things, if not worse, predicaments, and find a sense of hope, find a sense of motivation, but also learning things that can actually help them achieve whatever they're trying to achieve, financially or mentally.
Man, that's dope, man. So, where will the podcast be available for people to check out?
It's going to be on Spotify for podcasts, iTunes for podcasting. And then I'll also have it on my YouTube channel for people who don't, just go to those podcast platforms, and they could just go to my YouTube and see it, because a lot of people need to see it. They're visual learners. They want to see it and hear it versus just being, on the listening side of it. That's where they can find it, on my YouTube. And my YouTube, you can just type in Kilo the Dreamer, which you'll find me on all the platforms with the same thing, the same name. And you'll find me on there, and you'll find a podcast on there. Or you just type in the name of the podcast, which is Psych in the City, and it'll pop up as well.
Well, bro, from the bottom of my heart, man, congratulations on that, man. I'm excited about listening to the different episodes, man, and I feel like I can learn something definitely by listening and everything that I can spread to someone else and help them and everything. So salute out to you on this upcoming podcast, man. In addition to that, man, you got a future clothing line on the way, man. Talk about the name of it and from a designer standpoint, what you're aiming to bring to the game.
Okay, so the name of my clothing brand is going to be Dreamkeene. It's the "le" is the French word for the, THE. So I just wanted to give a different spin on it. But from the designing standpoint of it, I'm planning on releasing and having everything rolled out by 2023. And it's going to be a clothing line that has everything from business attire to urban clothing to kids collections to everything, as well as accessories. So I'm going full throttle with the clothing line and the clothing brand on a more professional level versus, and this is no knock against anybody, but just doing, we just going to throw some logos on a hoodie or we're just going to put it on the shirt. I want it to be an actual brand and clothing line that you would go to the store and buy these clothes, or you go online and buy these clothes. And it's going to be a lot of times where I have collections and everything for Chicago, because, that's where the heart is. And it's going to have kids collections for, kids that are going to school that may not be able to afford the major brands and stuff like that. I know when I was going to school, it was a lot of times where you see kids get bullied or you see them get talked about just based off of what they can afford to have on. But, that's not in their control because they're kids. They have their parents who are supposed to, fund for that. But if they're in a single parent household, they may not be able to afford it. So it's going to be affordable, but at the same time, quality wise, worth every penny. And so that's what I want to roll out. And it's going to be, for all ages, all genders. And hopefully everybody likes it. I'm pretty sure everybody will.
Fusion Radio with Brian Stinson. My guest today is Kilo the Dreamer, right here from the Shy, man. Tapping in on everything, man. Got a podcast, got a clothing line, and he does dope music, man, at the same time. So I want to jump back into you musically, man. Any upcoming projects that we should be looking forward to from you, or any past projects that you want us to check out?
All the music I want you to check out. Everybody listening, I want y'all to check out all my music. But I do have new singles coming out next year that are going to be very interesting and great to listen to at the same time. I have a project coming out next September in regards to my cousin who passed away, Huncho. And it's going to have a lot of artists from Chicago on it. But as well as that, I'll have a lot of features coming next year as well. So it's going to be a lot of Chicago artists. I'll have other artists, but I'm trying to bring Chicago a lot of notoriety. So I want everybody to get heard and make good music at the same time. So I just want everybody to stay tuned. And if you haven't already heard the music that I do have out, go listen to those, because then you'll be locked in and interested in what's to come.
Visual wise, man, direct us to your visuals, man. Give that YouTube out again where they can check out visuals of your work.
You can search me up on YouTube at Kilo the Dreamer, where you can see a lot more content, a lot more visuals. And the visuals that I have coming out are going to be pretty much like short 2 to 3 minute movies based on the songs themselves. It'll have you locked in to watch more, because a lot of videos now are kind of like simple. They do the same thing. They're outside in front of their group of friends and stuff like that. It tunes you off. When I felt like back in the day when you watched MTV, you waited to watch those videos. You was like, man, I want to see who's going to be in it, what's going to be happening. So I want to just bring that vibe back to videos where it's not so basic.
No doubt, man. Man, with all this awesome stuff that's going on with you, man, where can people from a social media standpoint stay in tune with you, man, and all the moves that you're making?
You can find me on all social media platforms at Kilo the Dreamer. You can space it out, put it together, you'll still see me pop up. And if you don't find me for some strange reason, on IG you can find me at Dreamkeene. The Keene is spelled Keene.
Continued success, brother, on all your endeavors, man. Thank you so much, man, for spending time with Fusion Radio today and giving us an inside look into who you are musically, talking about the podcast that you have coming up, and, even giving us details on the future clothing line, man. So proud of you and man, excited about even what the future holds even more for you outside of those things.
Thank you for having me.
Here's a really dope single from the homie Kilo the Dreamer. It's entitled First Time. It's right here on Fusion Radio.
Tonight is the night. I got you out of myself. I feel the adrenaline when these templates stop me from floating, composing myself. Play it cool while you tugging my belt. Bite your lip, do a spin, then you dip, yeah, you tryna get nailed. And put up like food on the shelf. We've been friends for too long. If that's what you call it, you tell me about it. I spoil you with diamonds, it bounce off your flesh like you glisten with oil. You in love and you know it. This time that we wasting, I'm tired and impatient and over the teasing and chasing. I'm ready for more. Love to a gangster. In my hands, you ain't worried about no danger. With my picture when I'm talking about your angles. Take my time while I'm kissing from your head to your ankles. Got a taste, racial, blue face, shower down, you embrace like a personal stripper. I'm tipping and ripping the clothes off slow. Get a towel, don't forget to lock the door. About to make a mess, see your heart beating through your chest. Let me take away the stress, know what's next, hot sex. Man, girl, you too blessed. By the way that you stretch, this gon' be a test. But who better to take it? You know what you're taking. With the lotion, flip you over this emotion. Marco Phelps in your ocean. Yeah, you moving backwards, yet I'm steady stroking with your legs curled and your toes pointing and your hair sweating out quick. Edges no longer slick. Wanna see it going in and out, then the money we can flick. Slick talking, crisscrossing, Back arching, sign fatter than the last one. It's second time coming, and you feel another. Off the rubber, we in trouble, I can't even front it. Too much pride in this cover. From the side, make her think that she running, but she love it. It ain't over, but you get it, what you want.